The energy is real. It's something that you just can't deny it. There's more out there if you're willing to go find it. I got a rush of warm feeling in my body. I felt the most peace that I felt with in a long time.
Welcome to this video. I'm Sammy Vanek. This is David Schunk. We're having a conversation about remote viewing, CIA technology that has helped people to access these deeper states of being, and their gateway program, which I know nothing about, so I'm very curious to hear what you have to say.
The gateway program, yeah. Back in the 40s or 50s era, the CIA had a program called the Gateway Experience. Basically what they did was they would train their CIA officers to psychologically try to obtain information from the enemy by getting on a different level of consciousness where they can access information without actually being there. At first it seems a bit far-fetched, but this report is now declassified, so anyone can go look at it online. Even the CIA official website has the publication on it.
That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, so we can talk about this. They made a strong connection with an institute called Monroe Institute, where they continue this teaching to this day, and it's open to the public. We can go there and take courses. Anyone can. So the whole level of what is consciousness, how many layers of consciousness are there, that's how I started to look at it. Like it was a lot of information at first, but then I started to watch more about it. When I heard the CIA actually publish it themselves and they trained people to do this, I'm like, okay, so they took this seriously. The US government took this seriously. And when you start hearing people that were trained in this and actually used it, the results were they were facts. It happened, and they have proof about this, and it's like, wow, I need to try this myself.
There's something so validating about that. Okay, I have a sense, but is that just some like floofy, am I just making it up? But here we're sharing that the CIA, the government, implemented this program to specifically train this ability in humans that we can activate. So I just wonder if that will land for anyone. Like this is, oh yeah, that's real. Like what I feel, I'm not just imagining it.
The fact that they're willing to even put their name on it and say, what you're doing it's real. Realize that your brain really is very powerful and capable of doing things that we haven't known. Anyone can do this, that's the thing. Like, you can try.
What's been your personal discoveries around this opening, this finding new, accessing parts of the brain and experiences?
So they released tapes that came from the CIA with finding that different level of consciousness. Core philosophy is where it starts is about the sound frequencies, and specifically the two hemispheres in your brain.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are.
You have the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, and when you're communicating with someone, you're using one side of the brain, and then to respond and then think about it, you're using the other side. They're taking turns, basically. So what this program does is they start by giving you a sound frequency. It's called hemisyncing. There's a difference of 4 wavelengths or hertz, or basically between the different levels. So you've got 100 in one side and 104 in the other. What that does is it brings down both hemispheres of your brain so you can finally communicate on one level with your brain actually working together for once. And your brain's never done this before on its own. To train it, that's where people spend 30-minute, 40-minute sessions every day hemisyncing, and there's different levels. It's all on YouTube. Anyone can get this. You put it on and they start and they give you instructions, and it's wild. There's the wave sounds, and then it moves into the hemisync feeling where you get the vibrating frequencies. It feels right. When it really clicked was after about 3 or 4 times of trying this out. I got to this one point where there was one night I was going to sleep. I could still feel that I was thinking actively in my brain, but my body was numb. It was numb, I couldn't move it. It was asleep. Up in my brain, I was active and alert. My body's sleeping. I'm sleeping right now, but I'm like talking to myself at the same time. This is kind of crazy. You can't open your eyes because they feel good. They're heavy, they're down, but it feels comfortable. I want to keep going. Let's go further. So you go further, and then all of a sudden I felt my body started to vibrate a little bit, literally vibrate. And I'm not making this up at all. It put me into this mode of, I was blown away. It was exciting. I got a rush of warm feeling in my body, and then inside my eyes, it brightened, and the next thing you know, I just woke up and it was morning time. I just sat there for a minute and I just looked around, and I felt the most peace that I felt with in a long time. I felt just fresh and renewed. I couldn't even explain it to someone at first. I'm like, I don't even know what happened, but it was incredible.
I feel such a sense of peace.
Yeah.
Hearing you share that and openness, and you went to sleep and didn't even know you went to sleep, and you woke up feeling this connection and bliss. And
it was
just looking into your eyes right now is, potent. I feel it.
Yeah.
Feels good.
And that's just the beginning phase. That's the best part. So if you really want to go above and beyond, it's probably going to take me a while to get there, but the next big jump is you're going to go above your body and you can see yourself. And then you can start to move anywhere in the world you want to. You can see people, you can connect with people. Energy is real. It's something you just can't deny it. And when you know it feels right, it does feel right.
That's the piece that I love, is that it feels right. I'm hearing you say it feels right, and it feels like it's based in love and based in connection.
Yeah.
And based in helping each other. Opening the heart is what I get.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, why do you think the CIA released these documents? What was their intention, or do they have one?
Well, I don't think there's actually an official answer how it got released. I don't know if it was a mistake, but I'm glad they did. For as much secrecy as what the CIA does, I'll give them props for releasing something on that type of level. Something that we as human beings can now have the ability to understand and to research and study and get to that different level and prove to ourselves that we're capable of doing that.
It turns out the CAA were the master guru meditators helping evolve humanity into our next highest evolution. Who knew? Plot twist.
Honestly, yeah. That's probably the last person you'd expect.
This is what happens when we enter these this is my perspective, is that when we enter higher realms, higher dimensional consciousness, we get these incredible surprises from who knew that was going to happen that way.
Yeah.
The CIA was the one who, on accident, helped us ascend into our next collective level of heart-open, centered consciousness.
Now a simple preparation. Because of the special audio techniques used, it's important that certain sounds reach your right ear and others your left ear.
Remote viewing is the ability to see someone else or something else anywhere around the world, or even they claim that you can go to different galaxies and see things. To whole different,
let's.
to whole different places. There was an incident where there was a gentleman in Virginia. He was in his basement where he was practicing this whole gateway and remote viewing experience. And he worked for Department of Defense. His job was basically to pick up intelligence and transfer it up the chain of command if it was liable information. What he did was he tried remote viewing one time and discovered a nuclear submarine in Russia that was being built. But this was not known to anyone. So when he tried to pass it up the chain, the folks up at the top said, "We don't know about it, so it must not be true." But this individual kept digging and digging, and he tried again. He studied and watched this nuclear submarine over the course of a few months. The Russians were building this submarine up and up and up to the point where it was the largest nuclear submarine built at the time. 7 floors, massive nuclear capabilities. It was a powerhouse. He even, through remote viewing, was able to describe the submarine colors, the exact specifications, the exact location in terms of coordinates. So what he did is pass it up the chain again. And this time, there was a gentleman that intercepted it before it got to the top and said, "Oh, I have the coordinates. For fun, let's move a satellite over there and take a look and see if there's anything," just for kicks, right? They moved a satellite there, and guess what? There was a submarine there. The largest nuclear submarine the Russians had at the time. 7 stories, same color, same shape, same location, same everything that he predicted. The gentleman that was first denied about that information sent up another chain up to the top and said, "Give me a call when you want more."
This is so exciting that we can go and tune into these things and these energies, and we can explore these realms of consciousness. And for you, I'm curious if there's anything that you'd say about self-care for someone who's wanting to explore these things, even with the Hemisync or without. But what's really helpful to stay grounded, or what's needed?
You have to be comfortable with basically submitting yourself to whatever is out there. There are times where, people may say if you go into this experience, you may not have positive outcomes. You may not even experience anything. And that's okay. Sometimes it takes people a long time to get to a certain level that they're comfortable with. But for self-care, I think the biggest thing is psychologically, you should be ready for this process, because it's really a journey, and it's a long one, because you're entering something that is relatively new, something that we don't really know in depth. We're just learning about all this. I mean, the CIA declassified it only back in, I think, 10 years or so or more. So it's still relatively new for a lot of people. They recommend a lot of meditation before. Spend time just, by yourself, really thinking about, the purpose of why you want to do it in the first place.
So self-reflection.
Reflection.
Yeah. I'm imagining a lot of self-love and acceptance too, and
Yeah.
allowing myself, okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever happens, I'm building a foundation of self-love that I can come back to. Because I know for me, I've shot into many different crazy realms and states and then didn't quite have the support
Right.
to help me come back into my body and be a human. So yeah, self-love and self-care definitely come up for me. And I love what
100%.
you're saying about self-reflection and asking questions like, well, why am I doing this? And where do I want to go? And what do I want out of this? And why do I want what I want?
Move your body into a more relaxed position. Release any tensions or strain points. Move into whatever position is best for you.
There's more out there if you're willing to go find it. And if you want to go find it, there are plenty of people that can help,
Beautiful.
like you.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Yes, I love to build community and connection around especially these kind of experiences, because they're just so different than mainstream presently. And I think mainstream is I think it's moving into mainstream.
Yeah.
But having connection and just talking about it with each other and listening to each other feels so important to me. And that's what we're creating. That's the purpose of this channel, is to create community and to create this level of connection that we can share and be seen and be validated and be inspired. So thank you so much for tuning in. If people want to get in touch with you, David, how can they?
I'm on most social media platforms. Best way is probably going to my website. Just go to www.davidmschunk.com. Instagram, I think my user is dschunk, and you'll find me on there. But I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, and I'd love to talk with you about any of this. I'd say keep an open mind. That's what I would say. Keep an open mind. Love yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And what do you think?
Awesome.
Anything else? Did we miss anything?
I think that sounds good.
All right. What are you open to? Like a high five type of situation?
Sure.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was really good.
Thank you so much.